Hello, group. It's me, Nika Little, again, and I hope that you all have been well since the last time we chat. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about my topic that I chose for my first response paper, which was that of sexting and the repercussions that come along with that. For those who don't know what sexting is, that's a term that was created to describe the sending of naked pictures or sexually suggestive messages or pictures to another person through the use of a cell phone. And even though it's usually involves people who kind of like each other or boyfriend and girlfriends or things of that nature, it is still a crime that is punishable by law. And those who are found with this kind of content on their cell phone or convicted of sending these kind of messages can be labeled as registered sex offenders for the rest of their lives and attain this felony that seems so much more severe than the sending of messages on a cell phone. My whole thing is, I think that if they argue to make sexting against the law, the punishment of having it be a felony and labeling these young children as registered sex offenders with child molesters, rapists, people who commit sexual assault against women, and other things of that nature are really extreme. I understand that there needs to be a punishment for these things because it is against the law, but I don't think that's the way to do it. And I was interested in this topic because when I was younger, or even to this day, I haven't necessarily partaken in the sending of naked pictures and messages to anyone like that, but I have sent pictures that I thought were cute to myself to other people. And yeah, this was before I was 18 and things like that, and I would never think twice about it being against the law because I feel like that's something that's personal and we shouldn't be in trouble for that. So that's why I took a particular interest in this. And this is something that has become very, very big among our youth nowadays. And I think that it will cause such an uproar to be labeling these kids as sex offenders at such an early age for such a minuscule crime. And there needs to be alternatives to this situation. I think that it's heavily motivated and driven by our media, such as television, movies, music, and all things of that nature. And a lot of times, they're making it seem like sexting is something that's very acceptable to do in our society, and it seems like it makes people cool and accepted if they do it. So I feel like our youth might be a little bit confused as to if they should partake in this or not, because they're getting sent one message from people who they look up to in the community and in media of all sources. And then on the other hand, you have people telling them if you do that, it's against the law, that's not reality, you will get in trouble for it. So I feel like there's a disconnect there, and I don't think that the way that they should try to instill this in these children is to label them as sex offenders. I think that something else has to be done. I feel like a lot of times the repercussions of this are downplayed in the way that they're portrayed to our youth, so they don't necessarily know the consequences, and that refers to Rank's model of persuasion in our book. And I think that's when you avoid calling attention to what can happen if you do such a thing and kind of intensify the other side of it, trying to persuade our youth to send pictures and messages and things like that. But I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. And I feel like someone from an opposing view would say that this is a serious matter and it should be taken very seriously, and they might think that such a crime should be punishable in such a harsh way, but I just don't understand why they would think that's acceptable. They'd probably use the fact that a lot of times the issue is downplayed and seem to make to be okay, but I'm just not sure about what that is. So I think that with this being said, I'm not exactly sure what the opposing side would say because, like I said, I really don't think that this is the answer. I think, yes, something else should be done. It's a crime. It's something that's known to be a crime. So we should be more enlightened on the consequences of it rather than just given such a harsh punishment without knowing really what we did wrong. And it's not our job to try to make our children know like what's bad about it. I think that somebody in the media should do that. And the opposing side shouldn't be out to prosecute our children and things of that nature, because these are the people who are using it predominantly, but use that as an attempt to, tell them this is wrong and this is what will happen, rather than just giving them this hard, concrete punishment that doesn't seem just in any way. It seems very unethical, and I don't think that it will go well with a lot of people. So I want to take the time to thank you for listening to me and my view on the issue sexting that has become a craze and a huge, huge, huge fad among our youth. And I just hope that something else is done to prevent such crimes being punishable by the law in such a manner, and we can find a way that our children will be able to continue doing what they're doing and not being punished. Thank you.